Hello, this is Stefan Derry, and I'm just gonna briefly go through my program and explain what it's about. So my center number is 27135, and my candidate number is 9042. So now I'll just go through my program. This is the login page, and this is the sign up page. You can alternate between them. You can make an account, but just for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna log into an account that I already have saved. So here I have a password hide button. I'm gonna log in, and this is the main page, the text conversion page. So this is where you input your text. So I'm gonna say, as an example, I am happy. Okay. So you can click the modify button. This has a drop down box, and you can pick different difficulty levels. So let's say I wanna change it to a level 5. It will change it to I am euphoric, which is obviously a harder difficulty than I am happy. And this uses a thesaurus dataset, and it searches through, and it gives difficulty levels to each synonyms and picks the right one based on the difficulty I chose. So if I do level 1, I'm glad. It's simple. So I have a text to speech button,
I am happy.
and I have it for the output as well.
I am glad.
There we go. I have a save button, so I can save this, and let's call it testing. Let's call it testing. And now it's saved to the save page. I can also download it to my computer as a text file. These buttons, these don't do anything at the moment. Um, I finished my program and I decided not to include these. I talk about it in my documentation, and I just decided to not include these, and so they don't do anything. Yeah, in the saves page, this is different saved text that I have saved. These say none because I added the feature of naming your saved text. So, this one that we just did, I called it testing. I added that feature later on. And so for these ones that I saved, they didn't have a title, so it just says none. So look, for this one that we just did, I can preview it. So this is the original, and this is the modified. I can go back, I can download it to my computer as a text file, or I can delete it completely the from the table and from the database. I can, let's say, this one. So for certain texts like this one, the original makes sense. However, in the modified, you know, it doesn't really make as much sense. I'll show you another one. See, the river glowed silver under the moon, um, as if whispering secrets only you could hear. And here is as if softening secrets partly you can hear. It doesn't really make sense. And that's something I would need to think about later on if I was to continue working on my program, because right now it does what it's supposed to do. It changes the synonyms for certain words, and it's based on difficulty. So it will change a word with a synonym that's of a higher difficulty or a lower difficulty. But if I was to continue working on my program, I would need to think of, maybe using AI to look at the context of the sentence and make sure it makes sense within the context of the sentence. But the main function works. It takes a synonym, it changes it, and it gives each synonym a difficulty level, and it makes sure it picks the right one. So, the program works. It's just something I would need to think about later on if I was to continue working on the program, having it make sense within the context of the sentence. That's about it. You know, I can quit. So this quits the program. I can also log out. Let me log back in. So I can log out. This just sends me back to the login page. Let me just show you how the download works. So let's say I'm sad. Let's change it. See, like it changes it with the synonym, but it doesn't necessarily make sense within the context of the sentence. I'll just download it quickly. So let's call this sad testing. Okay, text will downloaded. So now in my files here, I have it say sad testing, and this is what I just modified now. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Enjoy going through my document. You know, yeah, cool. Bye bye.